name is Joseph Kolawole Adebola. I'm going to be your host today, as always, and I welcome you to another of our usual Renewed Hope Global Virtual Town Hall Conference. My co-host for today, as usual, will be Honourable Jacob Ogusheye, Haji Arekia Bello Abubakar, Udeme Ukwe, Sheun Bayiwu, and Tosin Olayinka, who will be assisting me as usual in moderating today's conference to ensure a smooth and uninterrupted deliberation. I wish to inform you all that this conference is streaming live across the social media and especially on Ben TV, courtesy of the CEO of the first African Nigerian TV digital channel, in the person of Alistair Shoyode. Many thanks, sir, for your support and assistance always. Looking through the conference room now, I can see new faces as well as many of our regular participants from across the globe. Towards the end of the conference, I will be acknowledging the presence of our leaders and stakeholders in the House. In the meantime, on behalf of the team behind the Renewed Hope Global Virtual Town Hall Conference, I welcome you all to this session. We have a couple of updates, which are one, our website address, as we said last week, it's now renewedhopeglobalconference.com, renewedhopeglobalconference.com. You may like to check that out for information regarding all our programs. And the email for the website, which is also posted in the chat room, is info@renewedhopeglobalconference.com. I repeat, info@renewedhopeglobalconference.com. Participants and viewers across the globe are encouraged to use this email address to forward their questions to us prior to each week's conference. Those questions will be forwarded to our special guests of the week, and this will be the first set of questions to be dealt with by our VVIP before we open the floor for questions and answers. We also have a WhatsApp group called the Renewed Hope UK. This is meant to give those in the group an opportunity to have a first-hand information about our activities and especially about our special guests and VVIPs. Any participant that is interested in joining the WhatsApp group is at liberty to leave their details in the chat room, and we will forward to you the joining link. There is also a dedicated telephone number for the purpose of sending your questions or suggestions on how to better serve you before each conference. The telephone number is +44 758 695 1574. I repeat, +44 758 695 1574. Again, a couple of weeks ago, when we had the DG CEO of Energy Commission of Nigeria, in person of Dr. Mustafa Abdullahi, he dropped 3 different documents which he has released to us that to be sent to any participant who is interested in having them. The 3 documents are the Renewable Energy Policy, and the second one is the National Energy Policy, and the third is the National Energy Master Plan. So any participant who is interested in any of these books, please register your interest by calling the telephone number +44 758 695 1574, or sending your request to our email at info@renewedhopeglobalconference.com. info@renewedhopeglobalconference.com. Today, as usual, we have in our midst one of the top VVIPs from the administration of President Tinubu. The VVIP in question heads one of the most important offices in this administration, and his responsibility is so huge and is at the core of the values of the Renewed Hope agenda of President Tinubu. In the next 2 hours or thereabout, our distinguished VVIP will be taking us through the activities, achievements, and challenges of the ministry he heads as Honourable Minister of State of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Our topic for today is securing the nation under the Renewed Hope administration. And before I proceed, please let me run through the rules and engagement of our virtual conference. Number 1, all participants will remain muted until they have the floor to join in the discussion of the day. Secondly, any participant who wishes to participate by filling a question to our guest of honor should please raise their hand by using the hand icon at the bottom of the screen. Thirdly, when you are given the floor to contribute, one of my co-hosts will unmute you, and please do have your video on as we want to see who is speaking to us. And firstly, when you are given the floor, please introduce yourself and where you are joining and where you are joining us from, followed by your question. In order to ensure that every participant have equal opportunity to participate in our deliberation, you have maximum of 1 minute to contribute to this conference, and please go straight to the point so we can have time and so we can save time and to give others a chance to also participate. And please be advised that the system is programmed to mute upon reaching the 1 minute maximum time allowed. So do not be offended if this happens while you're still talking. It simply means the time allowed is up, and we will go to the next participant in the queue. You are at liberty to chat to the hosts in the chat room, and my co-hosts will respond to your inquiries. And last but not the least, we will be taking when we get to the question and answer session, we will be taking 3 or 4 questions at a time from participants. Then we will yield the floor to our special guest of honor to respond to those questions. Once again, I welcome you all to this Renewed Hope Global Virtual Town Hall Conference. This platform, as you already know, was set up as a veritable vehicle for interaction between Nigerians across the globe and our leaders in Nigeria. These are the people that hold the apron strings of our country, and they are steering the ship of our fatherland with a view to enlightening our people regarding the inner workings of the administration of the day. Today, as always, we will be exploring another segment of President Tinubu's vision and policies in an interactive interview with one of the big shots within the government, who will be dissecting President Tinubu's administration, shedding light on its significant achievements and forward-looking plans as encapsulated in the Renewed Hope agenda upon which the president campaigned, and we all gave him the mandate as well as the golden keys to Astor Villa on the 25th of February, 2023. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'm pleased to, I've just been told that our special guest of honor is yet to join in, but we will be continuing with the program as usual. But before I do that, before we continue, let me do a formal introduction of the ministry that he heads as Minister of State for Defense, which is the Ministry of Defense. The Ministry of Defense is a ministry of the federal government of Nigeria with the statutory responsibility of overseeing and supervising the Nigerian Armed Forces. The ministry was founded in 1958, and it has the following as its child agencies: the Nigerian Armed Forces, comprising of the Army, Navy, and the Air Force, as well as the Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA. Its area of jurisdiction is the federal government of Nigeria. And about the Ministry of Defense. The Ministry of Defense was established, like I said earlier on the 1st of October, 1958, with the statutory responsibility of overseeing the defense profile of the country from the perspective of the armed forces. It therefore supervises the defense headquarters, the services, namely Army, Navy, and Air Force, as well as tri-services institutions and parastatals. The vision. In recognition of the challenges of the millennium, a military sector with modernized equipment, well-trained in all aspects of military operations, fully professionalized, compact and mobile with adequate equipment, firepower and communications, capable of fulfilling its constitutional responsibilities and performing its international peacekeeping role proudly and efficiently. Mission: to provide administrative and support services timely and effectively to enable the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to build and maintain a modern, compact, strong, professional, mission-capable, and mission-ready armed forces for the defense of national territory, maritime interests, airspace, and the protection and defense of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and to contribute to peacemaking and peacekeeping duties worldwide under sub-regional and global organizations of which Nigeria is a member. And the main mandates of the Ministry of Justice are: 1, to maintain men of the Nigerian armed forces in a state of combat readiness on land, sea, and air. 2, maintain a proper balance in arms and men to meet needs of internal and external security. And 3, to make provisions for the welfare of the men of the armed forces in terms of training, accommodation, healthcare, and other benefits aimed at boosting their morale. 4, enhance the capabilities and sophistication of the country's defense industries in order to reduce the country's dependence on foreign sources of supply. Number 5, enhance security in the African continent by promoting a collective defense system through bilateral, sub-regional, and continental cooperation. Number 6, contribute towards peace and stability of the world through the United Nations Organization, UNO, the African Union, AU, and the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, and responsible for the formulation and execution of the national defense policy. That, in a nutshell, is what is the main mandates of the Ministry of Defense. Now, let me go for the profile of our special guest of today is Dr. Bello Muhammed Matawalle, and his profile reads thus: Dr. Bello Muhammed Matawalle, MON. His Excellency currently serves as the Minister of State for Defense in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, born in Maradun local government area, Zamfara State. Dr. Matawalle began his education at Maradun Township Primary School and continued at Vocational Teachers College, Bunza. He later attended Yaba College of Technology in Lagos State and Thames Valley University in London, United Kingdom. Dr. Matawalle is a notable Nigerian statesman who served as the governor of Zamfara State from 2009 to 2019 to 2023. His political journey began in 1998 when he won a seat in the House of Assembly. He then served in various significant roles within the Zamfara State government, including Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Environment, Rural Development, and Youth and Sports. This experience paved the way for his tenure as a member of the House of Representatives, representing Bakura to Maradun from 2003 to 2015, and eventually as the governor of Zamfara State. Dr. Matawalle is happily married and blessed with children. Like I said, we are still waiting for, because he's been held up at an important meeting at the moment. So he will be joining us perhaps before the end of this program. But in the meantime, the program goes on, the conference goes on, and like we normally do in a situation like this, we will still be, we would go straight to our question and answer now. What I would say to us is, your question and answer will be noted down, and it will all be passed on to the minister, whether if and when he appears on the program, and he will definitely deal with those questions. So in the meantime, I will be going straight to the floor now. But before I do that, I think I will yield the floor to one of my co-hosts to do us the honor of calling on our participants to come up with their questions. But like I said, you have only 1 minute. As soon as you are given the floor, please make sure that your video is on, and be swift with your questions, because the system is programmed to mute you as soon as you meet the minimum, the maximum of 1 minute. So for the time being, let me introduce Honourable Udeme Ukwe, who will be taking on the first 4 questions. Then after that, Honourable Joseph Ogusheye will take over from him. Thank you so very much. Honourable Udeme, you have the floor now, sir.
Good evening, or good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're dialing from. This is Udeme Ukwe. Again, we have that swift introduction, succinct introduction from our chief host, J.K. Adibola, for that. for that introduction. I just want to welcome again everyone, even into today's special conference. So I will be taking some of the questions that we already have that has already been barrister, is it the questions that has already been present, or is it these the hands that are up that we are looking at the questions just
No, let's go for the hands that are up first.
right? Okay.
Then we'll take note of that. Then we'll go to the questions that have been sent in later. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I again want to welcome everyone. It will be indeed a great conference today. We've had, like Barrister said, we've had some very, very great conferences where we as Nigerians in Nigeria and in the diaspora, we've really, really been enlightened, and not just been enlightened, but we've taken this information. We've spoken to our friends, our families, use the information well to even to make Nigeria a better place for people to actually travel and live in, visit and all that. These again will be a very good opportunity again, especially for Nigerians in the diaspora, to allay some fears. A lot of people, they'll say, right, I can't come to Nigeria because there's that security issues, and there is one or two issues. Our special guest today, Dr. Bello Muhammed Matawalle, is here to allay some of those fears, to make known some of the things that are happening, and how best, the nation under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is being secured. So we have two hands up. Again, what we normally do is once you have your question, we are looking at securing the nation under the renewed hope administration as the theme for today's conference. Please let us try and put those questions in line with today's topic, so that the special guest will be able to give us an informed answer to your question. And please make that question as concise as possible. I will be calling up on Adebayo and Adewale Ajayi. Before then, even these questions are going to be passed either when our special guest joins in, so that he can now look at some of the answers to these questions. So I will be calling Adebayo. Adebayo, can we unmute Adebayo for your question? And Mr. Adewale Ajayi, it will be your turn after Adebayo. Adebayo, your question, sir.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I just want to ask the Honourable Minister, what is the role of population control in achieving national security?
So that would be, what is the role of population control that's in achieving
national security?
Right. Thank you for that question, and I can assure you that once the Honourable Minister comes on board, he would have an answer or point us to the direction of how best that can be achieved. Mr. Adewale Ajayi, your question, please. Is Mr. Adewale Ajayi there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now loud and clear.
Okay, but I cannot put on my video. I don't know why. You blocked the video. Anyway, quickly. Now, we know all over the world, people are using drones. Now, I put the question up. I don't know whether you saw it or not. But my question is, why are we not using more of drone to fight insurgency rather than pushing our men to the war front, losing them every time? All over the world, drone we know is cheaper, effective, and it will save the life of our military personnel. So the question is simply, why I know when you asked him, he said, yeah, we have drone, blah, blah, blah. We know the drones they have. I mean, drone, I could give you a link here. How much is drone? We can deploy drone for 3 things: surveillance. We can load them with ammunition to attack insurgency. We can use them for various things. So, and we know our military men. I've got friends in police and army that are trained in use of drone. So the question, Udeme, is why are we not using more of drones? Let's use more of drones. With the amount of vast budget that has been given, why are they not investing in using more of drones in fighting insurgency? Thank you.
Thank you so much for that question. That again, you know, with the first question and this one, they are very, very important questions and key actually to, you know, even security, you know, to prevent, you know, or it helps in securing border. I was looking, you know, with the drones stuff. I was looking at 1 or 2 videos, you know, even in the war in some of these European countries that is ongoing, and you could see sometimes how effective some of these drones are in terms of combat, which it helps in like you rightly put it there, reduces casualties, physical casualties. So that question is noted, and it will be passed to the honorable minister when he comes on the call. I would go to thank you again once again for the call, Mr. Adewale. Third question, I would go to Techno LF7. Techno LF7. Can we unmute Techno LF7? Please, can you let us know your name? And the next online from me will be Dr. MO. Dr. MO. So Techno LF7, if you are on, can you please let us know your question? Thank you. Is Techno LF7 there? Right. So we'll go to Dr. MO. Dr. MO, can you?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Please, can you unmute my video, because the chairman said that you have to see you when you're talking. So please do that for me. I tried to unmute my video. Saying you cannot start your video because the host has stopped it. Can you please release my video?
I think our technical team is trying to do that.
While working on this video, can you move on to somebody else?
Okay, great. So it's working now. Anyway, my question is about, security infiltration. That's number 1, okay? Do we have some kind of MOU with our neighboring countries so that we can, checkmate our security infiltration? Because sometimes it makes fighting security very difficult if you don't have such a thing. Because I know if you have those security, MOU, every country will work with Nigeria to make sure that people don't come in unauthorized or stuff like that. They have to go through the visa. Okay. Then the next one is, do we have saboteurs in the military? If we do we have any kind of check-off list to monitor them to ensure that it doesn't happen? I guess I have only 3 questions. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to ask the question. Anyway, all right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mo, for that question. Security infiltration. That's it's quite broad. It's quite broad, and it's quite a challenge. And when you have if you don't have that check and balance in terms of you know, number one, you're looking at even the border control, and then how that border, once it's controlled, you know, then that means that you can understand who, you know, which of the foreigners, you know, are allowed, you know, under probably ECOWAS, because of that free movement, to join even the military. And if that's even the case, you know, so you now start cascading down that security level, down to how best can you now put in those checks and balances in terms of not allowing any infiltration, especially into the military, into security services, and sometimes it's from bottom up. So how best do you now check it, you know, from people coming into the country, then gaining access to recruitment into the security services, then then having those powers really to be able to make decisions, leak information at either a high level or a low level. So it's something that I believe our honorable minister, with his depth of expertise, experience, and level of where he sits, in terms of his role, will be able to give us a well-informed answer for that. So that question is going to be passed to the honorable minister when he joins. The last question from me would be Adebayo Adefegbe or Adefigbe. Sorry if I didn't pronounce your name very well. Mr. Adebayo, can you please unmute Mr. Adebayo, please? Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Adebayo Adefegbe. This is a laudable program that we got on here, thanks to Mr. Ben Alistair. And my question is about what's the strength of relationship between the Ministry of Defense and the National Assembly? I was unimaginably surprised that there was a motion about whether there is need to increase the funds on increasing for modern equipment, increase quality of technology. And the senator said no. The Senate president thought maybe they didn't hear him. He repeated it again. And the senator still said no. I want to say on behalf of the senators, maybe there is need for a better communication between the ministry, the minister, and the Senate. Because right now, we need to be talking enhanced and improved technology. As the earlier speaker mentioned, why don't we use drones and stuff like that? Thank you.
Thank you so much for that question. It is noted. Your question is noted, and this again would be passed on to the honorable minister, because there's always that importance of having, of course we have our three arms of government. Of course we have different different ministries, different arms working independently, but it's really important, even as we work as the ministries, as the Senate, as the National Assembly, even as the executive work independently. There's always the opportunity to synergize, really, not just because there is that not just because of the synergy, but because it's really what I would see is that Nigeria as a whole should come first. The protection of its citizens should be important, and whatever it means it takes, even in this country, in the United Kingdom, in America, and some other places that are developed, what happens is the security of the country is always prominent in terms of budgeting, allocation, and the wherewithal in terms of moving, making the citizens safe, assuring that they are safe, and ensuring that it is what it is in terms of safety and security. I would now, yeah, your questions are duly noted. I've got them here written down, and once the Honourable Minister comes on, these will definitely be passed on to him, and would have the answers that is really important, not just for us, but for all Nigerians. I would now yield the floor again to our chief host, JK Adebola. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Honourable Debman, for that session. I think next in line will be another co-host, Honourable Jacob Ogushe, whilst the matron of the house, Haji Arikia Bello Abakar, should be on the standby. This time around, I think we'll be taking 4 questions at a time, so that it will be able to go around all the co-hosts. Honourable Ogushe, you have the floor now for the next 4 questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. My co-host, Honourable J.K. Adebola. I want to welcome all of us again this evening. I hope you are hearing me, sir. Yes.
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah. I want to appreciate all of us for coming to, this event again. Honestly, I'm happy to see new faces, and I know we'll continue to grow in leaves. Let me quickly go to the people, to the number of participants that I can see from my left. That is number 1 is Larry Jones. So Larry Jones, please get ready to speak while Najib Zafari. So get ready after. I'm sorry for not pronouncing your name well, if that is right. That is sorry. Yes, Mr. Larry, please go ahead, please.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. And again, thank you for this important opportunity to speak to the people that matters in the country. Well, my name is Dr. Larry Jones. I'm an educationalist, currently setting up a university in Nigeria, and for young people, and not just for young people, for everyone really, and truly, both undergraduate and master's program. But I want to ask for security reasons. We've heard that many people, young people, are being kidnapped in schools these days, and many parents are now very scared, and they are ready to send 18-year-old, 16-year-old, 17-year-old out of the country and spending over 80 million naira to actually get them into schools overseas. That is a huge amount of capital flight. One of the speakers earlier on said, why don't we use drone? And I'm sure, that man, the money he would pay to send one of his daughter overseas can buy 1 drone for Nigeria to basically deal with insurgency. So I believe the security agency should think seriously on how to protect our young people in schools so as to give parents that confidence for them to be able to allow the kids to study in Nigeria, because it's a lot of money. Let me just give you an example. In the last 8 months alone, 76,000 Nigerians have come to the UK to study, paying over £14,000. Please just work that out. If you change 14,000 pounds to naira, imagine how much that is. And some of them are they're doctors. They live in the country, and that is what I think. So if the security agency basically look into this, that will reduce the capital flight from Nigeria and make the country more buoyant in terms of our currency. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, Dr. Larry. Sorry for me. I didn't know you're a doctor, so sorry for the omission, doctor. Now let me quickly move on to Mr. Najib Azafri. I don't know. You can just let us know your name, well pronounced, please. Thank you. You're now unmuted and you can speak. Hello. Okay. I'm not sure it's online. So I would like to move to iPhone 87, but because your name is not there, I will not be able to call you for now. Please, if you can put on your name, then we can be able to recognize you by name and call you. So I will therefore move to Mr. Babashola. Please, Mr. Babashola, can you unmute and then get your question across to us quickly? 1 minute, please.
Good afternoon, House. My name is Sunday Babashola. First and foremost, I want to appreciate the co-host of this platform for giving us a very wonderful opportunity to speak to our leaders back in Nigeria. Well, let me just start. My concern is what is the government doing about the proactive measures about the safe zone in Nigeria? What do I mean by safe zone? There are some states in Nigeria classified as a safe zone, for example, Lagos State and maybe Ogun State and other parts. And then I want to ask, what is the, as in proactive collaboration with the governor of those safe zones? Because it is not until insecurity happen that they'll start moving about, start doing investigation, things like that, based on what we have in Nigeria. A case study was not last week. I think the Lagos State Police Command, I think, stop a kidnapping stuff in Lagos State, and in their narration, they said those kidnappers has been in operation for good 8 months. For good 8 months, fine. Thank God they were able to crack those kidnappers' final move, but it has happened to so many people for good 8 months. So that is why my questions comes up as, what are the proactive measures so that crime will not be committed for a series of time, get people killed, get some innocent people killed until government come in place. And I don't know if the Honourable Minister can explain this better, so that we in diaspora can have confidence that, okay, if I'm going home, I think we'll be, if not 70% safe. Because if
Sorry, Mr. Babashola, I think your time is up. Sorry about that. Maybe next time you can just limit your question to just 1 minute so that then we have enough time to go around. Thank you very much for your time. Again, Mr. iPhone 87, and I would love to call you, but I want to put your name on that iPhone 87. There's no way we can recognize you by the iPhone 87. If you put your name there, then it will be better for us to recognize you. So therefore, I will move to Mr. Adekunle Oluwole. You can please unmute now and speak to us, please.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Let me appreciate all the organizer of this event for us to speak with our leaders and for the nation to move forward. Yes, my question to the Honourable Commissioner Minister is that, to what extent are they monitoring the fund deploying to all these all our security men, Navy, soldier, police, and to ensure that they're actually using the fund properly? Because the same question was raised by Senator Oshiomhole at the National Assembly. He was praying that the Senate President should empower them to monitor the fund. To my surprise, virtually all the senators, they turned that prayer down. So, because by the time you see all these kidnappers, the kind of ammunition they are using, In fact, at times it's even more sophisticated than what the military men, policemen are using. So that's my question. To what extent are they monitoring the fund? Then the second of it is that even before our president came on board, he has been soliciting for state police. And I don't know what is still delaying that motion or agenda to be implemented. Probably it will also aid security in each state. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time. Again, let me go back to Mr. Najib Azafari. This time around, please, if I get your name wrong, please just pronounce it very well so that we'll be able to note it. And you can now speak now, please. Mr. Najib. Mr. Najib? Oh, okay. Mr. Najib.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you. Just 1 minute, please.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
My own is not question. Just I want to recommendation the administration of Mr. President and the Honorable Minister of the State Defense about to try to include into class insecurity in our state, the State and the Northwest. That is my recommendation to the Mr. President. Then our recommendation about the judgment of local government autonomy. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Najib. I hope you pronounce your name right. Mr. Najib, how do you pronounce your name? Sorry.
Yeah, hello?
How do you pronounce your name, please? Mr. Najib, the surname, please. Najib what?
How people?
How do I pronounce your name, please?
Yeah, you pronounce my name very well. Najib Al-Zamfari.
Oh, Al-Zamfari. Oh, that's fine. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes, so, I have my 4 questions for now, so I have to move back to the chief host and because Mr. J.K. Adekola before it transfer to the next person. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Honourable Ogunseye, for that. I've just been duly informed now that the Honourable Minister is talking in another important meeting at the moment, but he's assured us that he will join us before the end of this program. So let's keep the questions coming. As soon as he comes, we will. I hope he has enough time to be able to answer all the questions, but if not, he will have to have a carryover that he will probably have to respond to after the program. So long as you all we will try to find out how to respond to all, the rest of them if he cannot deal with all of them on this program. Maybe we may have to ask you for your email address and stuff like that. But just for the time being, just keep the questions coming. The Honourable Minister have just been informed now that he's talking a meeting. He sent his apologies to every one of you. So I'm on his behalf now apologizing to the House that the Honourable Minister is. Sometimes these things happen with all these VVIPs. You remember Aduri Ngilali had to come on 2 days consecutively because whilst he was on this program, the president called, and you know that when the president called, you dare not say no, because there is a proverb in Yoruba language, but don't let me go into that now, which encapsulates what I've just said now, that when the king calls you, you have to drop whatever it is you are doing to answer to the king, or else you'll be in trouble. So I guess maybe that's what's happening to our minister now. He's in a meeting, in a crucial meeting, I'm told. So, but he said his apologies and said he will try as much as possible to join us before the end of the program. But whilst we are still waiting for him, we want everyone to just come in with your questions. You'll be guaranteed that it will all be passed on to him. And with every single one of them that we've called on this program, they've always been very generous with answers to all the questions that we sent to them. So you can be guaranteed that your questions will be answered fully. Thank you so very much for that. So now I'll be calling on the matron of the house, Hajia Rekia Bello Abubakar, to take on the next 4 questions, whilst Honourable Baye, also known as Boyo, should be on standby. Hajia Rekia Bello Abubakar, you have the floor now for the next 4 questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've got Mr. Odeyemi. Could you please give us your question, please? While Is it Bilal GG1 should be on standby? Thank you. Mr. Odeyemi, please. Mr. Odeyemi, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, good afternoon, the House. We need to first be appreciative of the organizers of this event. It's been going on now for some time. It's been very good to have interaction with our leaders back home. Yeah, my questions, go beyond just the security, so to speak, because I think security include food, social, the social empowerment, etc., etc. And I feel that we having the same problem we had during the time of Buhari. It appears we're having the same problem now. It's like all the laudable action of our president are not being reported, like the CNG, like the food prices, like what he's doing at the moment to make sure that the security, because food security is also very important. I think it's food security that metamorphoses into physical security. Once people are well fed and people can have 3 square meals, I believe the security problem will go down. But it's like the information machinery is not being done, efficiently. The society is not knowing what the president is doing at the moment. I don't know if this can be passed on to the people in Abuja, because in fact, I tried to talk during the time of the Minister of Information was around, but I think I came in a little bit late. So I don't know if the host, that's Honourable Ajibola, Dr. Ajibola, so to speak, can please pass on this message to the Minister of Information, so that the information system machinery can be expanded. Let the society, let Nigerians know what the president is doing. Otherwise, it will just look like the president is not performing, whereas he's doing so much for the country. But people are not knowing about it. That's my own contribution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Odeyemi. Though you forgot to put on your video, so we couldn't see your face.
Oh, I'm sorry.
See who's talking.
Can I put it on now? I don't know. Let me see. Oh, the Chief Ogunleye should let the video come up.
Oh, okay, not to worry since you've finished, but next time, please. So we'll go to the next person, who's Bilal GG1. If you're there, can you please unmute yourself and put on your video and fire on with your question? Thank you. Bilal GG1, are you there?
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Good evening.
Okay. Good evening.
How are you? How was today?
Oh, fine. We're all fine. Thank you.
To me, I don't have any questions to the Honourable State Minister for Defense, but I want to commend the
Oh. We can't hear you.
Hello.
Bilal, are you still there?
Are you with me?
Are you still there, Bilal?
Hello.
Yeah, go on. We can hear you. Go on.
Yes,
it's better
I
now.
said I'm here just to commend the Honourable State Minister for Defense, Bello Muhammed Matawalle for the effort. I think in that all those ministers in our nation, he's the only minister and the best minister that he's working hard for making our people to sleep, both Nigerian and Northwest at last. So we commended his efforts, and we pray for them who continue to succeed in their works. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Bilal. Thanks for that. We'll pass your message on to the minister. Next on my list is Mr. Van Gabriel. Mr. Gabriel, are you there? Though I said Mr., it could be Mrs. The first name is Van Gabriel. Are you still there?
Venerable.
Ah.
Hello?
Hello?
Okay.
Van
All right, then.
Gabriel.
Well, I'm not allowed to unmute my video. I want to see that. So anyway, that's fine because I'm trying to open up my video, but he said it has been disabled. So that's fine. Can you hear me?
Okay. All right. Then go ahead then.
Okay. All right then. Thank you so much. I appreciate the effort of our host and the leadership of the APC UK for putting all this together. And it's a good thing that we are bringing the officials of government down so that we can interact with them. While I know we are talking about security this time around, the effort of our gallant officers are highly commendable. They are doing their very, very best. But one thing I have noticed, just like maybe about two speakers ahead of me, who was talking about a lot of that people are not, the effort of government are not being put out there. I think there is so much negativity in the system, too much negativity that tends to overrun every positive thing. And you say, and naturally people tend to tilt towards negative things than positive things. Our press are not helping matters. The way they will hype up any little dislocation they will blow it to high heaven. And again, too, also some media that are in the habit of just projecting everything negative about the country. I don't know. Yeah, I know we talk about this democracy. There must be freedom of speech and all the rest of it. But then there must be some checks and balances as to how people project what they are putting forward. You can't begin to say things to deride the country simply because you don't have flair, you don't support the ruling government. It is the country we are talking about. It's about the country. And when you begin to do this, then the police, somebody mentioned earlier, the police in Lagos who killed those kidnappers. After stalling them for so many months, they were able to do that. Now people begin to twist it. Oh, it's because they are from certain parts. It's because of them. If you see a lot of these comments online, you will begin to wonder what do we want. So that is one there. The other one about this, because I really want to talk about is we need to move away from analog monitoring of our security. It seems we've been doing the same thing over and over again. Yeah, and we will just be putting our men on the firing line. We should devise way. The roads are not there. The bandits are attacking in one remote village before they get there because the roads are not good. Everything is just a lot of things are there. So why not begin to look at how we can combat this through technology, through the area power, and all the rest of it. I hope maybe when the minister comes, that could be looked at. But then the negativity in the polity is so much that people don't even believe any drop of any iota of truth that is coming from the right quarters. The next thing is they will find fault in it. I think there's maybe orientation or whatever, but then it's a lot. There's a lot of work to be done along that line. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gabriel. We'll pass all your concerns to the minister. Next online is Mr. Sani Garba. Mala Sani Garba, are you there? Mala Sani Garba, are you there?
No, yes.
Mr. Siraju Ibrahim should be on standby, please.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay. Please go on. Can you go on?
Yes. Yes, my name
you
is.
Have problem with your video?
No. Is it okay now?
No, not yet.
Sorry? Video filter, okay.
Your video is still not, but,
Is it okay now?
We can hear you. Now, there's still no video, but having challenges, just go ahead with your question.
Okay, then. While I keep trying, meanwhile, like I've said, my name is Mohammed Sani Garba, and actually, I don't expect the minister to discuss security matters in the public, but my concern or my question is related to food insecurity. My business is promoting agro-allied products from Nigeria. And we quite know that we have quite a large of land, fertile land in the northern part of the country. And not all of it, not even half of it, we're having those challenges. So literally what I'm trying to say is the government needs to be liaising with private companies and also consultants to give them the actual data of what is going on ground. Who is determining what we should grow? Who determines the prices of what we grow in Nigeria? And where does it go to? This has a security challenges. And we that were in the business, we have seen, we have made our own effort, but we see foreigners coming in with a business, with a visiting visas. You find them into our local farmers, local markets. And now the worst is not even they are stopping there. They have moved directly to the farm, liaising directly with those farmers, dictating what the farmers should do. For you to understand where I'm coming from, Nigeria has variety of everything that is being grown here. If you talk of Gari, we have several cassava breeds. So that's why whenever we wanted to make an export, you have to mind on the variety you have chosen. So, but when these people come in, foreigners, we don't know where they're coming in, what kind of document do they have that give them accesses to our farmland, dictate, by the way, at what rate are they even buying it as an international representative? So basically, we're not chasing them out, but no country will allow what will hinder his own citizens from growing. Mm-hmm. So with this kind of information, if they are really ready, they want much more data. We're not hidden where much we will make ourselves available and let them see what we are doing, and then we share with them and try to now work on it. But the way it's going and the speculations, basically, if you don't talk about the situation, you will be at the defense side. You will meet people definitely saying things on your behalf. Then that's the time you'll be forced to talk and then be trying to say, no, it's not this, it's not that. So it is.
Sorry, Alhaji Sanigar, but I think your time is up, but thank you for that contribution. We'll pass all your concerns to the Honourable Minister of Defense. Next on my list is Suraj Ibrahim. Are you there, please? If you can unmute yourself and put your video on. Suraj Ibrahim, are you there? Good evening, Suraj Ibrahim.
Hello,
Suraj
sir.
Ibrahim.
Good evening.
Yes,
Okay.
it's your turn now.
My own is thanks and prayers. Let us, I will use this opportunity to thank Mr. President, over the opening of border of 81 days to supply food in the northwest in the country. But my prayer to President, please and please make it permanent. The border is open permanent. for the supply, the hunger, and this situation of our country, especially in the northern state where the security affect. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Surajo. I'll now yield the floor back to our chief host, Barrister J.K. Adebola. Thank you.
So thank you so very much, Hajia, for that session. I think the mantle now falls on Honourable Bayewu, otherwise known as Boyo, whilst Baratosi should be on standby. Boyo, you now have the floor now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, the host and the co-host and everybody viewing us from all over the globe. We thank you once again and your patience today for waiting for the Honourable Minister to take on the next line of actions that is going to deal with all your questions. I'll now go straight to the question and ask Mr. Deyemi Saka to unmute his video and ask his question. Thank you. Deyemi Saka, please. Are you still there, sir?
Yeah, I'm there. Good afternoon.
Yeah, you're welcome, sir.
Yeah, mine is not more of a question. Mine is going to be more of a suggestive, if I can use that word, responses to some questions that have been asked, because I'm someone that has been following defense activities as an independent defense analyst for a while, even before this administration, and actually has interacted with Minister of Defense while he was governor and even now as a minister. But to correct some notions among our participants here, I need to let them know that Nigeria, as we've acquired a lot of drones and we are deploying drones in our military operations. There was an incident in Kaduna earlier, I think last year or early this year, where an identified zone, a tourist location, became a zone of a religious gathering. That's to say that it's not that we are not deploying drones. The problem we are having is we are having compromised intel or people compromising intelligence. Because for military operations, because of those zones and axes, is heavily militarized. Oftentimes, the sector commander will need to relate with the district head to let his people know we are coming for an operation. And oftentimes, these people compromise intel. And I guess that should answer that. And I know, as a matter of fact, that we took delivery of some fighter jets from Turkey, completing the procurement from the last administration, and there's enough effort to procure more drones and what have you. But Nigerians should be careful too, that when you're procuring arms and things like this, armaments, it's not as if you're walking into a store to buy it off the shelf. The only time you can get is access to things that is you're buying off the black market. But if you're buying from a supplier, it goes through a process. The National Assembly has to approve it. And in some instances, they have to even seek approval from the people with intellectual property. Like if you're going to buy fighter jets or a decommissioned or fairly used fighter jet from Belgium, or let me say Australia, F-16 Hornet, Australia will not sell it to you directly. You have to get permission from America that has the right of the intellectual property to sell. So that is one thing I want Nigerians to be, at least our participants to be mindful of. Somebody spoke about bad news in the media, quote and unquote, really, castigating. I'm not using the word castigating, reprimanding the media practitioners. I can't blame them. I probably want to blame the information managers of this government. What are you pushing out? Which outlets are you using? Oftentimes you get conflicting information from the same government. So I think we should not blame the press for doing that. We should probably blame the information managers of this administration that they're not doing well enough. Somebody asked about what's it called? I'm not trying to answer for the Minister of Defense. Let me put it out there. I'm just sharing my own knowledge based on what I know. Somebody asked about also mentioned population control. I know there's no religion that has birth control in it, but Islam, Bible says, go into the world and multiply. So we cannot, and no legislation or anything, or even the Constitution can guarantee you to legislate or probably say, or let's make it a constitutional matter. But I think we will get a heads on and a clearer path if you have a true adequate census where there's no devoid of political sentiment or consideration or mistrust, where everybody trusts the census figure. And that will hit our national planning, where we can plan for our people in terms of education, security, social security, health, national security, and what have you. For me, it is a nice platform. This is my first time of being here. a lot of people might find this strange because a lot of people that follow my activities will probably see how is a known critic of the government being on this platform. But it's such a platform for us to exchange ideas, exchange informations, and get better informed. I think I've shared my own opinion and what have you. And I guess maybe I want to stay on the sideline and see how the minister will respond officially to these things and how, we'll get better informed as a people.
Oh, thank you very much for that. You've been brilliant in giving some insight into what people have asked. I think we can say thank you for that information. Right, so I'll go on to Azan Ibrahim to ask the question, please. Azan Ibrahim, you have the floor. Omit yourself, your video, and ask your question. Thank you. Azan Ibrahim, please. Okay, if Azan is not coming on, can I have Ibrahim Bello? You have the floor, sir. Ibrahim Bello, omit your video and ask your question, please. Thank you. Ibrahim Bello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Okay, my name is Ibrahim Bello, and mine is just to give insight into some of the issues raised here. I know, though I'm not talking on behalf of the Minister of State of Defense, but I would like to draw the attention of some of the colleagues here who have asked some questions regarding the issue of the use of technology in combating terrorism. The Minister of Defense, as we all know from experience, I'm a living witness to some of his efforts when he was the governor. He was the first who brought drones in Zamfara State in combating terrorism. And that experience in effectiveness of the use of technology is still inherent as he grabbed the reins of the Ministry of Defense today. We are all living witness to how he has been building rapport with the international community, trying to get new technological gadgets which can be used in combating terrorism in this country. And I would like to use this opportunity to encourage him to do more, to continue doing what he's doing in building rapport with all the security stakeholders in combating terrorism in this country. He employed, when he was using his versatile experience as a former chairman committee, House Committee on Intelligence and Security, when he was member House of Representatives, he used carrot and stick approach when he was the governor. And that carrot and stick approach have yielded a lot of results, because more than 1,000 people were rescued who were in captivity during his reign as the governor were rescued. And today, he is still using such carrot and stick approach to see that the problem of insecurity in this country is coming to an end by the grace of God.
Yeah, thank you, Ibrahim Bello, for that insight into the activities and what Governor Matawalle did when he was a governor. Can I have Michelle Akintoye, please? Michelle Akintoye, thank you.
Hi, good evening to all protocol observed. Thank you, Alessa, for inviting me as ordinary citizen of UK and Nigeria. I just wanted to give, having working with the EFCC, with the Nigerian Navy, Nigerian Air Force, and the SSS and police that I'm really commending with a good skill. I've always told the British counterpart that we are one of the best in the world. And I give that to the defense minister and the team and the armed forces. Now, my question is, I'm beginning to notice that there's a kind of a crossover, which is not meant to be happening around like EFCC going into the job of SSS, or people trying to use their power to manipulate or take advantage of a situation and taking over, which is really compromising security sometimes. I found out that EFCC have been going to places that they shouldn't be going to sometimes. And I don't know why that's happening. And I think in order for us to have a clarity of jobs and to actually bring, I'm for celebrating all the armed forces in Nigeria, having a big event so that everybody can come together as one. And when defense is one, you can't have cracks in security, in defense, our sea, air, whatever, like we do in UK. So I really want to suggest that we maybe there should be occasional armed forces day. I like to put that forward through Alistair. And I don't want anyone stealing this strap line. I'm already working on it. So we can have a nice opportunity to have every defense minister, or I mean every, so like the Hamao of the Nigerian Air Force and the military and everybody. We've done, Alistair has done it before with in collaboration with myself or with others. So to have a clarity, reminding people and officers and the foot soldiers what they are meant to be and their roles. It can cross over. Say, for example, mass on NAF at the international, and they go into local route. So let's just have that. And secondly, the youth. Uprising is coming. Is anybody addressing this youth before it gets out of hand? Because they've been sensing that they want to come out, and especially in Lagos. So I would suggest that please, the minister should look into having to have a chat with them and ask what they want and ask how they want to protest peacefully, so we can support them to hear their voice without having to have an emergency or what do you call it, a rowdy. And with the youth, some of them can be good and some of them can be really, really bad. So we need to address that. That's my second question. How are we addressing the youth that are ready to go out and argue and fight again for whatever is bothering them? I think with the Minister of Defense is in good place to send leaders to the youth to have a meeting with them and ask them how they want to go about it and how to support them and give them the clear, because with right, there's responsibility. If you burn out a place, you're going to be going to prison. So at least they have an idea of what's going to happen. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'd like to work more. And again, thank you for everyone coming here. And,
thank you. Brilliant question, madam, for that. I think that question will be passed on to the Honourable Minister. Can I have Mr. Olawale Olapegba, please? Olawale Olapegba. Thank you. You have the floor now. Unmute yourself and your video. Thank you. Mr. Olawale.
Thank you very much. I am unable to have my video there. Trying to. Well, maybe I should just go ahead.
Yes,
but
please.
My video is not coming up. Well, my name is Olawale Olapegba. I'm an energy professional, and with all more respect to the DG of ECN, who I can see is also on the call. I'm keenly aware of the numerous challenges facing Nigeria's energy sector, including inadequate power generation, transmission, and distribution, which are further exacerbated by industrial actions and vandalism. These challenges have significant implications for national security, economic growth, and defense capabilities. Energy security is actually critical to the military's operational effectiveness, as it relies heavily on energy to power its operations, equipment, and infrastructure. A reliable energy supply will ensure the military's readiness, mobility, and ability to execute its mission. Moreover, energy security is essential for force protection, humanitarian assistance, and even disaster response. In the light of this, I would like the Honourable Minister to share the strategy to address the energy security challenges and mitigate the impact of industrial actions. We've had a few where the grid was simply shut down due to strikes, and also how the Defense Ministry is trying to enhance energy security and support the country's defense, economic, and security efforts in that light. Additionally, I'd like to know if the military has opportunities or partnerships for collaboration with energy sector professionals to leverage expertise so that they can mitigate, energy security risks. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Olapegba, for your question, and that will pass on to the Honourable Minister. when it's sure, but I'm sure that it's going to be in soon. I'll now revert back to Chief Host, Mr. J.K. Adebola, to continue. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my Honourable, for that session. It was brilliant, and I think the next in line now will be Honourable Tosin. Honourable Tosin, you have the floor now for the next 4 questions. Whilst we're still waiting for our Honourable Minister, with whom I believe I still believe he'll be able to join us before we end this program today. So, Honourable Tosin, you have the floor now for the next 4 questions. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for giving me this opportunity. And also, I say thank you to my co-host as well. Yes, I'll be starting from the first person here on my screen, Abdurrashidi Isa Yagwawa. So you may have the floor soon, and I want Deborah Fatogun to get ready shortly after that. So Abdurrashid Isa Yagawa, please, you have the floor now. Over to you. Are you there, Abdurrashid? Can someone please help unmute Abdurrashid? Okay, if it's not there, I may have to move to another person now. Can Deborah Fatogun please have the floor? While Bello Muradu should get ready. Here on my screen, I can see Techno. I'm sorry, I will not be able to call you Techno Mobile. We would like to put your name to your status here. So it's until you do this, we could be able to call you to come forward. All right, Deborah Fatogun, you have the floor now.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. My name is Deborah Fatogun, and I'm from APC UK, Deputy Women Leader. I don't have a question. Everybody has been talking about method, about equipment, and all that. But the most important thing people has not even asked, and that is the men that are doing the job. The men that are doing the job, are they being taken care of? Are they well remunerated? Do they have houses to live in? When they go out to fight, when they come back, where do they go to? Do they have accommodation in the barracks? Even the one that has accommodation outside, are the accommodation being paid for? Are they in their families? Are they eating well? Are they doing well? All these things has to be taken care of, because it is only when you make people that are working for you happy that they will do their utmost to do the best. This thing is very important. And I want the minister to take care of this. It is very important to see that the men that are doing the job are well remunerated, are housed, all their rents are paid for, so that they can have peace of mind to do the job they are supposed to do. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. We've noted that, Honourable Madam Fatogun, and I can assure you that we'll pass that on to the minister. Next on my list here is Deyemi Saka. You will be having the floor soon, and in the interim, I want Matthias Egena to get ready. Deyemi Saka, please, you have the floor now.
Yeah, sorry, I was on earlier, but I just want to correct a notion. Mitchell dropped a comment about having an event where armed forces get to interact, and she was like saying nobody should get a hook on that idea. I want to tell her that we have 2 events to do to handle that. So existing, there's the Armed Forces Remembrance Day, which is every is it January or something? Yeah, and there's also the Nigerian Armed Forces Games, where all branches of the military meet in a competitive sporting activity. So there are a lot of things on ground to address that. for people that follows Nigeria. Mrs. Fatoki that just left the platform a while ago got off our question. I have because I have a lot of personnel as friends. I have done a lot of things with civil military affairs, and I know I will say things as a matter of fact. Even in the United Kingdom, the salary they pay personnel, there's a deduction from it for house rent. But we have barracks. You might say maybe you want more, but no soldier is homeless. I can tell you that for free. Their salary is paid promptly from when I can remember. Then again, why a lot of people assume or see our soldiers or probably security agencies like they are suffering is because they don't pay utilities like house rent and electricity bills like an average citizen out there. They tend to abuse it by not having birth control. You see you see a sergeant in the police having 5, 6 kids. You see a lance corporal having 3, 4 kids. You see a master sergeant having 5, 6 kids. On which salary? So because they are not really, so along the line, it now becomes a burden on them. It looks as if they are suffering, and they stretch the amenities and the facilities on their barracks because of the large population. So I think there's a need for, instead of us thinking they are not well taken care of, I think we should demand for more advocacy on how they should embrace more of birth control and living and cultivating, having a small family where their income can be far-reaching in their basic and daily needs. So are 2 things I just want to insight. I've been here earlier. I just want to chip in to correct these 2 things.
Oh, thank you very much for that, Mr. Adeyemi Saka. Thank you for that contribution. It is well noted. Next on my list here is Matthias Egena, and I want Dr. Barry Johnson to also get ready. You will be invited to come on shortly after Matthias Egena. So, Matthias Egena, it's a platform now. Over to you. Matthias Egena, are you there, please?
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay, my name is Matthias Ogalahi from Benue State. I want to applaud the organizer of this program and the Honourable Minister in absentia. And my question goes this way. As we are interacting about security of this nation, and there are some issues that bothered me because as I've been watching most of the security agency, both the armed force and the paramilitary. My most emphasis is on the issue of paramilitary, especially the Nigerian Immigration Service, because I heard the newly inducted 2023 sets have not been paid 10 months arrears, and I don't know the actual reason. So I want to tender the question before the Honourable Minister of Defence, even though the agency is not directly under his custody, but as a Minister for State Defense and also a top office holder in this current administration, I want to ask, what is the actual problem and the delay of their payments, and how should it be solved? Because some of those inductees, they have been facing challenges and they are security agency. And if they are not being taken care of, I don't think they can work to secure the nation. And this current administration, under the Renew Hope agenda,
Sorry about that. I guess your time limit is up. That may be the reason for you to be off the mic. I will be calling on Dr. Barry Johnson, but before he comes on, I will also ask Jide Fashakin to get ready. It will be coming on after that. Dr. Barry, over to you.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Good evening, moderator, and good evening, Nigerians. My name is Dr. Barry Avotu Johnson I, and I'm not an APC member, and I'm speaking on behalf of Nigerians and myself. Can I go on?
Yes, please, you can go on. You have the floor.
Yeah, I cannot exactly see the topic of this program, but I only know that I was sent this link, and the saying that the Honourable Minister of the Honourable Minister of State for Defense, His Excellency Dr. Bello Muhammed Matawalle, is supposed to be here, but he's not here. But I just have to say what I need to say. It's better said to him directly, but with due respect to Moderator Sir, I'd like to bring your position to the issues of information and publicity about what the Nigerian military is doing in curbing insecurity in Nigeria. I think, and I know, and it's clear that there is some compromise in the issue of coping this, and Nigerians, exactly by the constitution of this country, we hold responsible the minister and this government in charge, not giving us the first-hand information that we need. As Nigerians, we need to know a blow-to-blow account of what's happening in the middle belt, what's happening in the southeast, the south-south, what's happening in the northeast, what's happening across Nigeria, because right now is unprecedented. This insecurity has gone so much to the extent that in Abuja, where I'm talking from, kidnappers come to your house and knock at your door and pick you. Something will be happening in the environment of the Federal Capital Territory of the biggest Black country in the world, and police cannot come. Security is not aware. Come on, what exactly do we think we are doing? Ahmed Bola Tinubu's administration should understand that.
Oh, sorry about that, Dr. Barry. I guess your time limit was up. That was why the mic was off, based on the configured system. All right. I would like to hand over now back to my chief host, who will be taking the program on from here. It's over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, my able co-hosts. I just want to disabuse our minds about one thing that the last caller just said. This program has no party affiliation whatsoever. This is the Renewed Hope Agenda program. It has no party coloration whatsoever. It is for all Nigerians across the globe, both in Nigeria and in diaspora. So please let us get that straight. And for effect, the topic for today is securing the nation under the Renewed Hope administration. Securing the nation under the Renewed Hope administration. So I just thought I should get that in there. So we still got about 3 more hands up now to ask their questions. So I have to apologize to Omi Media because it seems to have omitted you somehow. But I can see you here that you've had your hand up for a while now. So if you can just unmute Omi Media, then Mr. Jide Fashakin should be on standby. Omi Media, you have the floor now. You have 1 minute. Unmute yourself and put on your video, please. Thank you. Omi Media, are you still there?
I can.
Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Yes, good evening. We can hear you. Yeah.
Yes, I don't know why I cannot do my video. I don't know why. Maybe.
Okay, just go ahead. Don't worry. Just go ahead.
Okay, my name is Omi Media. I'm a media practitioner, and I have to commend this laudable forum. Like you said, and like a lot of people have been agitating, all those laudable projects being executed by this current administration are not, I am telling you, a lot of it are not being exposed to Nigerians, the main voters. And I'll tell you why. Because most of the information mechanism we have tends to use government-owned institutions. And by doing that, a lot of people don't tune in. So in order for all these laudable projects to get to the main masses and the main voters, there must be private arrangements from radio and television stations, so that at the end of the day, whatever we are doing here will reflect to the real voters and the real masses of Nigeria. Thank you, sir.
Let me just pitch in one or two things here, which is that yes, we understand that there is a gap in the issue of information dissemination from the government to the populace. That is the reason we set up this platform to bridge that gap, to ensure that our people, both at home and in diaspora, are kept abreast of what is going on. And that is why we keep bringing the VVIPs from this government to come and tell us about their programs, what they are doing, what challenges they are facing, and what successes they are recording. And you agree with me that since we've started, every single VVIP that brought on this program has been very, very generous with the information that they are passing on to us. And that is why we keep doing it every week in, week out. It's not easy, but it is because people like you are supporting us, and our leaders too are always very, very ready each time we call on them to come here and talk to us. Again, that says a lot about the kind of leadership that we have now. That yes, I guess maybe they too understand that there's that laxity somewhere, and that is why anytime we call upon them, they are always ready to oblige us with their time, even though they have very tight schedule. And that's the reason why the minister couldn't be here today. And like I said earlier on, about a couple of months ago, when we had the special advisor to the president, Julie Ingilali, right in the middle of the conference, the president called on him, so he had to leave. And he promised us that he was going to come the following day, and he came. Even on the following day too, we had some issues with network and stuff like that. So things like this do happen. That is why this program is a bridge builder. That is why we set it up, so that we can let Nigerians to know what is going on within the government. And like I said, every single one of the leaders that we've been calling upon since we started have always been very generous. They will always come. 2 hours, they will stay with us and they answer all the questions. So I don't want us to be on the illusion that the information dissemination problem will be persisting, so long as this renewed hope thing continues. So let me call on Honourable Jide Fashakin. You have the floor now, sir. Jide Fashakin.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Jide Fashakin, my name. I'm speaking from Munich, Germany. Firstly, I would like to say a big thank you, and on behalf of all of us from diaspora, to Barrister JK and his team for putting up this wonderful platform, and for also standing by, like he just said now, that it is week in, week out, and I can imagine a lot of work that he and his team has to put in to get this done. So I would like to say thank you very, 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 very much. You are doing a wonderful job. We are behind you, fully behind you. I only have a couple of suggestions to add to the discussion of today. Firstly, speaking from diaspora and as a Nigerian based in diaspora, which all of us, a couple of us here are, we know how passionate most of us are about our country. And I would like to suggest to our Honourable Minister to please look into the aspect of our retired military diasporans. There is a lot they could do in what we are talking about. Most of them have been privileged to have even done so much fantastic things for foreign countries. I'm privileged to know one or two of them, and I'm privileged to know what they have done. And if we have people like that on the home front, in fact, 2 of them have relocated, have retired, and they relocated in Nigeria as we speak. and they are ready to offer one or two things, especially those in terms of technology and those complicated things. If the Honourable Minister should, I would suggest that we should please look into that. And I know Barrister J.K. Adebola will also have some people in that direction too, as a veteran in the diaspora as well. My second suggestion is the aspect that I think we should increase and work more on is our response. Because when we see what happens, it's not as if diaspora is also over safe as we expect it to be. But the difference between here and Nigeria is whatever the crime is, whatever the issue is, there is a response and there is something done about it. So I would like our Honourable Minister to please look into a quick response team, or maybe something like a SWAT team that I will be placed at different spots, different regions in Nigeria. They know the hot spots that can respond before even the people that are on ground that are stationed there can respond. So that's just the two things I want to add. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, sir, for that brilliant suggestion that you brought on. You can be guaranteed that it will be passed on to the Honourable Minister. Before I go back to the floor, I'm pleased to announce that we have another VVIP in our midst. He was here last week, but we didn't have enough time to call him for us to be able to have the benefit of his wealth of experience. He's now here again today, and I have the pleasure in introducing to the House one of the brightest and a legal luminary from Nigeria. He's a senior advocate of Nigeria. He's the Attorney General of Ondo State. He's Honourable Kayode Ajulo. First of all, thank you very much, sir, for coming on our program last week. And apologies for not being able to give you the floor to address us. And that is why I'm giving you that special honor now that I would like to hear from you, maybe just for a few minutes, your thoughts and, regarding Nigeria. And, well, you just have a few days, sir. Welcome on behalf of my team. I'm welcoming you officially to the Renewed Hope Virtual Conference. Honourable Kayode Ajulo, you're welcome, sir. So you have the floor now. Can somebody please, my co-host, please unmute Honourable Kayode Ajulo, please? Thank you very much, sir.
Well, thank you very much. Well, this comes as a surprise because what I love doing, particularly in this gathering, is to sit back, take one or two things that's been said without making any contribution. But since I have the privilege of being introduced, let me say one or two things. Please let me start by presenting my warmest compliment to the entire House. And I must commend first the leadership that is the organizer of these laudable initiatives. Have been following for quite some time, and I think I must specifically thank Kalista for what he's doing, both in diaspora and Nigeria. And you may not know this. Most of the information, if you really want to gather information, you need to know the developmental project and the perspectives in the country. Just tune to this, what we are doing. It's quite helpful. And I must say too, that I'm more drawn to what is happening today through the Honourable Minister, Bello Matawalle, who has been a great force, having served in Zamfara State, and now serving in, I must say, a higher position, being a Minister of Defense. I know we all know what defense is, and that is why when we talk of peace, we talk of development. When we talk of development, we talk of growth and how we can make the country what we're proud to call our own. I just joined some minutes ago, but still, I'm sure the Honourable Minister must have made one or two comments. I need to say what we are doing, particularly in the area of defense, something that we should all continue to have more interest on, particularly anybody that seeks peace in Nigeria. Yes, by and large, many things happen in the country. By and large, for example, the the Supreme Court decision of just recent one. I'm sure it's going to upset a lot of things. It's going to introduce a lot of things, and it's going to bring a lot of things. But what matters most is Nigeria has to be united. What happened most is Nigeria has to be proud of having a country, a great country, Nigeria. What happened most is that Nigeria, people's welfare in Nigeria must at all time be the premium of all Nigerians and the government of Nigeria. And maybe on that note, I will still beg to be allowed to sit back again, listening to contribution from others. And where I feel it is imperative that I must say something, I would love to see that. I thank you all for listening to me.
Oh, thank you so very much, sir, for that quick, brief intro there. I think it's always a pleasure to have you on our program. And once again, I apologize for not being able to call on you last week. It was very hectic, so that was why I couldn't do that. And I've been trying to put on your video, but for some reason I just couldn't. I couldn't get around to it. I don't know what's going on with the system today. It seems to be playing up. So thank you so very much for that. Regardless, maybe towards the end of the program, we might even call upon you again to give us maybe your closing remarks. Perhaps maybe an advice as to how you want us to continue, with this program and to make it better. Thank you so very much, sir. Now next will be okay, sir. Next will be Dr. Barry Avotu Johnson. Dr. Barry Avotu Johnson, you have the floor now.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for talking again. And actually, my time finished, and I just want to say a very, very great thank you and congrats to you for finding time to set up this opportunity for Nigerians to get information of what Nigerian government is doing to change the face of our country. And to also appreciate the elder brother there, barrister that just spoke, Ajalo. Is one man we look up to for leadership, and we say thank you for always being to programs like this so that people like us will follow you behind. Well, I was talking about the issue of information. We are hosting World Democracy Conference in Nigeria on the 5th. And we don't mind to have this leadership organizing this come, take the microphone and tell Nigerians to join you every week on this program. Because when we have Nigerians know that such program is always on, I think we'll have a larger house so that Nigerians can be mobilized on the issues of what the government of today is doing to help us grow Nigeria back on track. Because right now, I tell you, the suffering is too much. Insecurity will not make anybody want to invest. Everything is expensive in the markets because insecurity in our agricultural perspective is very high. If you go to your farm these days, we don't know whether you come back. And those are the things that have made cash crops expensive. The food today is expensive because of insecurity. And again, the bad road that is expected to bring this food to the city where people can reach it is also another issue. So please, we should try and get the Minister of Works and Housing to start looking at rural development, rural roads where could give the farmers the opportunity to get their products to the city. And for the Minister of
thank you so very much, Tessa. I think again, the time factor is another devil that we have to deal with all the time. But if you can hear me, sir, we'll gladly want to collaborate with you on the program that you are planning. But perhaps maybe if you can just leave your contact details in the chat room, then I will personally get in touch with you so that we can see how we can work, hand in hand. This program is about adding value to this administration, particularly in the areas of information dissemination, like some of us have mentioned earlier, because that is the bridge that we are trying to bridge to ensure that our people are well informed especially in this era where we have all this fake news being served a la carte on social media with a view to destabilize the country. And that is why we said, no, we're not going to allow that to happen. We will have to do whatever we have to do to ensure that our people are better informed as to what the country is doing. Do we have challenges in Nigeria? Yes, we do. I live in the UK. We have challenges too. Tell me any country in the world that does not have challenges. But the point is, in the midst of that challenges, we have to stand like Trojans to say our country must not destabilize. And that is why we come in. That we have to do whatever we have to do to ensure that our country will not allow some people who does not have the best interests of our country to light a fire in our country. We're not going to allow that. So that is why we are doing what we are doing, to ensure that we bring our leaders to come on our platform to inform our people. And since you've sent the invitation to us, yeah, we'll gladly take up the invitation, because anything that adds value to our fatherland is what we are all for. So I will, if you can just leave your contact details, I will personally call you, sir. Then we can arrange how we can be of assistance in your program, so that at least both of us can work in synergy in ensuring that the country becomes what we want it to become. Because when people talk about change, the change has to start with you. If you don't change and I don't change, the country will not change. Again, I keep saying to people, the major problem that we have as a country is our mindset. The day an average Nigerian changes his mindset, trust me, the country will begin to change. So that is where we need to work on, and that is the reason why we have made it our point of duty in the Renewed Hope virtual conference to ensure that information from the government must permeate down every facet of the country and beyond. So that is why we are doing what we are doing, and we'll continue to do it for as long as we have the support of people like you, sir. We will continue to do what we're doing to ensure that our country moves forward, because we cannot allow the country to go to down the drain. I want tomorrow, if tomorrow comes, I want to be able to beat my chest and tell my children that when Nigeria was having its challenges, this and this and this are what I've done. So, and I believe most of the participants who come on our show every week, that is what they have in mind too. So, as far as I'm concerned, we have to do what we have to do to ensure that the country moves forward, and we will not relent in doing that. Thank you so very much, sir, for that comment. So, because our time is fast spent now, it's 3 minutes past 6 now, and I've got 3 hands up. I will call those 3 hands, and after that, there will be no room for any question again. Then I will have to call on our legal luminary again for the second time. Please pardon me, because I just want you to come back and give us the benefit of your experience as one of the leading bright minds in Nigeria, which is Dr. Kayode Ajulo. I will call you when I'm done with all the 3 hands that I've got up now. Next in line will be Comrade Idris. Comrade Idris Musa, you have the floor now. While Mr. Ola should be getting ready, Comrade Idris Musa, you have the floor now. Thank you.
Everyone. Okay, I appreciate being participating in this program. I really appreciate the effort of the organizer of this program. And first of all, I must commend the president for the giant stride which he took some days ago on creating a livestock ministry, the Ministry of Agri. I know they are coming with a very loud program that which this is going to help in the long run to solve this farmer and hence issues, which has been one of the issues that is creating this food scarcity in the land. But then, while you are trying to solve the social problem, I want us to look into this. It's like a suggestion, because these have worked over time in the area of insecurity or in the front line. We have a situation where community are being involved in the surveillance and information gathering. I think this area is has been maybe left aside for some time, because this work in Borno, where the civilian JTF and they work with the military and a lot of Jai's trial was recommended, was achieved. In the same vein, somewhere in Kogi during the last administration of Governor Yahya Bello, he introduced vigilantes, and these vigilantes, they worked tremendously. The kidnapping along Abuja Lokoja Road were submerged to some extent, and now it's resurfacing again. So please, at this point, we want the Honourable Minister to interest into this and involve the local community in the security surveillance. This will go in a long way to curb the menace. So on the last note, at this point, there's this end bad government quota that is coming first week of August. We have to do everything possible to curb this. We cannot survive another NSAS. I'm saying this.
Oh, I think the time factor is the issue here again. Thank you so very much. I think I get the last part of what you were trying to say, and I think we can always develop on that in sending your question to the Honourable Minister. I think it's you were trying to talk about the planned protest by some youths. I quite get that, and we will develop on that and send it to the Honourable Minister. Thank you so very much, sir. Moving on swiftly now, we have only 2 more people. I will not be taking any more questions now, please, because it is 7 minutes past 6 now. We were supposed to close at 6. So right now, moving on to Bello Muhammed. Bello Muhammed, you have the floor now. Bello Shuaibu, are you on now? Please unmute yourself. You have the floor now. Okay, it looks like we lost him there, and the other hand has gone down again. So effectively, this I think we're drawing the curtain here now. On the it's been a 2 hour of a roller coaster. Once again, I have to apologize to us regarding the minister, because it appears that he's not been able to yank himself up from the important meeting that has been on all day. But I can guarantee you that all the questions that have been sent to us, in fact, the ones that were sent to us before today, we will be packaging everything and we'll be sending it to the Honourable Minister. And if there is any feedback from him, we will be letting you know, maybe at subsequent conference. So thank you so very much for being part of this. But before we go, like I said earlier on, I will be yielding the floor to Dr. Kayode Adulo. As you know, he's a senior advocate of Nigeria, and he's one of the legal luminary in this country. One of the people that some we Kekere baristas are looking up to every day for inspiration. I think I'll give the floor to you now. So I just want to give you the free hand to address us as you wish, so that we'll be able to draw from your wealth of experience. This time around, we want you to put your video on, sir, so that we can see how good looking you are, sir. Thank you so very much.
I would love to put my video on, but with Nigerian factor, where I am is a bit okay. Let me see if you can see where I am is a bit darker, but I just want you to believe and let us take it that I'm with you in spirit. Okay. So I'm sure 1 or 2 ways I'm waving. Maybe next time, since I know I have to put on my video, I have to where it's a little bit illuminated with the light. So please pardon me. First, let me start like I've done that earlier to commend the leadership and organizers of this initiative. It's quite laudable, and it is something that I don't really want to miss, because this is one of the avenue where both Nigeria at home and abroad comes together to Georgia. And from Georgia, there are many things that one can take home from what is being discussed. Particularly, even practice as a lawyer, even now working are not working for government in one commission, one way or the other, one will be able to know one or two things, like the indelible tips that one of my brothers mentioned about the answers. Now, it is to go back home, go back to those states to start thinking what would be. I think we need to be sincere with ourselves here. There are many issues begging for attention, and many questions that have been unanswered. And again, now to add one, and adding that one to the issue in the polity now, particularly the issue of the poverty, the issue of the paucity of fund, the issue of hunger, let me put it. And sometimes I wonder how some Nigerians have been able to stand on and on their feet. So these are the things that may cause most of the problem. But I think government, because like yesterday, stays one of the things I've not done in my life, to start thinking of palliatives, sharing food to people on the streets. And I believe we don't need that. I think what we may need, particularly from what has been said, is that this may be some of the sins of our leaders from the past, and now it's being transported to this current government. But I believe there is always a way. I believe we need an holistic approach, a way, radical view to really turn things around. If the main issue is hunger, let there be food. And I believe this is time when it won't be the government alone. All those who have the herewithers should come together, because if anything should go wrong in this country, it is not only the government that will bear the brunt, the people too. So whosoever, where we have any little opportunity, we must look for it to show love to our people. And again, it's also unfortunate that it's only police everybody complaining about. With my little experience now, I've learned to know that most of those who have opportunity to hold one commission or another have tried to abuse that opportunity. But because maybe the police seem to be closer to the people, they are the one that people most of the time will complain about. And maybe because there is brutal, there is physical, there is direct. But you need to ask directors, messengers in offices, what they do with the little position given to them. I think these are the things we need to talk about. Now, let me move to this initiative. It's something I find laudable. And anytime, I assure you, I receive a prompt, as long as I'm free to join, I'm always looking forward to it, because from there, you hear perspectives from different people, you hear solutions to some problem, and you have some tips that can help the wheels of government. And I must say I appreciate you. And I will want a situation where this may be carried further. Some of the snippets, some of the summary of what is discussed. Good enough, our listener, is a journalist, he knows how to do that, to know how we can make it form part of what will be demonstrated to the people, maybe in electronic media, in print media, and now we have the internet. I want a situation that what is being discussed, some part of it, particularly the useful one, should be put together. And again, this initiative needs to be given a wide coverage. I see a day when we may move from the Zoom to go to another platform where thousands, millions of Nigeria can come together. And maybe we may get to a point that we may turn into Chatham House platform and use the standard of Chatham House, where everybody is free to say whatever you need to say, and where maybe there will be some rules that will be in place that will ensure that nobody will be answerable to whatsoever that has been said. I think this is a great initiative, particularly when those in diaspora can connect with those at home at the same time, under the same roof, the same heart, to do something that is great. This is what I appreciate most, and I promise the little that we can do to ensure the continuity of this, we'll try as much we try as much to ensure that we do that. I really appreciate this, and I thank you particularly for the recognition. May the Almighty God continue to be with all of us.
Amen. Thank you so very much, sir. My senior learners, the good guru. Thank you so much for that. And I think with your passing shot about this program growing big into a Chatham House kind of thing, I think that I think that is something that I think we would like to happen, and I believe that with your support, sir, I think it is something that may happen sooner rather than later. So we'll keep that in mind, and we'll be in contact with you because we are working hand in gloves with so many stakeholders to ensure that this program grows bigger and bigger and bigger. Because, like I said, all our aim and objective is simply to add value to this administration, and by that, doing that, our own way of doing that is the creation of this platform where we have a heart-to-heart discussion with our leaders, which does not often happen. And how we've been able to do it every week in, week out, I still don't know. But I believe it's by divine grace that we're able to do it. And every single VVIP that we have approached in this government, they have always obliged us, which again says a lot about the vision of President Tinubu for this country, because it means that if we can approach people in government on a weekly basis and they keep obliging us out of their very, very tight schedule to come and spend 2 hours with Nigerians, and every single one of them has been very, very generous with the answers to the questions that people have been filling at them. I think for me that says a lot about the government that we have in place now. And I think that needs to be applauded, and that needs to be appreciated by Nigerians, that for once, especially the president himself, I think in this last 12 months now, he's shown Nigerians that he is a listening president, and it's a president that does not shy away from admitting when he's wrong and to right those wrongs. I think he's done that on so many times in the past, and for that I give him kudos, because it shows that he's got no airs and graces that is synonymous with some leaders. He's a leader who is down to earth, and that has permitted right down his cabinet members, because every single one of them that we've called on our program has been very generous with their time. And not only that, I think the EFCC chairman himself last week, when he came on this program, believe it or not, he was here 15 minutes before we started. Even I was shocked when I saw his name flashed on my screen. So this is the kind of leadership that I think people like me or most of us on this program should aspire to. Leadership who leads by examples, leadership who lives from the front. That's one of the reasons why I admire you, Dr. Kayode Adelotu, because I've been following you for so many years. I believe I spoke to you a couple of weeks ago when you came to the UK here with one of my members. We had a three-way telephone discussion with you. I'll be talking to you about that later on, sir. But you see, thank you so very much, because with the support of people like you, that is what makes us, to always want to continue to do what we are doing. Because, like I said, we just simply want to add value to this government, because we believe in a very long time, this is the first time that we have a government that I personally believe in has the interests of an average Nigerian at heart, and they are doing everything on a daily basis to ensure that yes, there are still some challenges, but like we said, it is something that has been building up over the years. And like I've always said to people, that it is very easy to destroy a house, but it is not easy to rebuild it. You can destroy a house within 5 seconds, but to rebuild that house will take time. And that is what we have been advocating to our people, that let's give this government time, because they are taking the right steps. Yes, those right steps maybe bringing maybe creating some hardship. Of course, it is to be expected, because for you, it has to get worse before it gets better. So this is what this government is trying to do now, to ensure that we have a better future, because we cannot continue to live false life that we have lived for so many years. If we have to keep it real, then that keeping it real will come with its costs. So that is the cost that we are going through now, and I keep saying to people, just bear it. It's just a matter of time. We are this close to where we're going. So all we just need to do is to support this government with everything that we've got. So thank you so very much, sir, for that. I have to apologize to those who have their hands up, because in the Yoruba language there's something they call Egunlalun Keyingbale. That is once the biggest masquerade dances, other masquerades will have to wait for the next turn. So please,
No, don't. No, please. I need to put this one quickly. I think this is the voice of the people. And the voice of the people, you know what it is. I preach equality. I preach equity. If there is a time, if they will see us a little time, I don't think we should allow protocol or whatever the regular to whittle down, allowing some people to have their voice, to have their say, except particularly if we have the time. So I will plead and I will beseech you, if we can take one or two, if we still have the time, I think let the talks flow, please.
Thank you very much, sir. It's just that we have two hours, and we spent 2 hours 20 minutes. So that's the reason why I think so it's always time is always the issue for us. I wish we could stay here for the next 3 hours. If left to me, I can be talking for the next 10 minutes non-stop. But then because we have time that we have to stick we have to stick by, so that's the reason for that. But because of your intervention now, I have only one hand up now, and I will not take any more. I will give him the chance. Bello Muhammed Matawalle, you have the floor now. You have 1 minute, and after that, we're not taking any more questions. Bello Muhammed Matawalle, you have the floor now. Just 1 minute. Let me. Yeah. Okay. That's a shame. Lord. I don't know if you can hear me. We can hardly hear you because it's seriously breaking. It is seriously breaking. We can't hear you at all. Perhaps maybe if you can move a little bit away from where you are.
Hello.
Oh Lord.
Oh God.
Oh God. That's a shame. I guess, like I said, we just have to go. Hello? Hello?
You
Yeah, it's unfortunate. We wouldn't be able to take him because the network is bad actually on his end. Yeah.
Nightmare. So apologies for that, Bello Muhammed, apologies for that, because we just can't hear you at all. As much as I would have loved to, to give you the floor, like our legal luminary asked us to, but again, the network, it's played its havoc. So hopefully, maybe by next week, we'll be able to give you the floor when you come in again. So thank you so very much for everybody for being part of our weekly show. Your support is always appreciated by us, and I wish to acknowledge the efforts of stakeholders who made the Renewed Hope Town Hall Virtual Conference possible through their wide network of influence and hard work behind the scene. Thank you immensely for making this possible every week. And huge thanks also goes to Ben TV, the first Nigerian African TV digital channel in Europe, led by its CEO, Alistair Shorday, for your continuous support for Nigeria, for Nigerians in diaspora, and support for good governance in Nigeria. Thank you ever so much, sir. And thanks also to our other media partners like the Parrot Reporters Media Limited and the Reflector newspaper, who are equally supporting and propagating the image of the Renewed Hope Global Virtual Town Hall Conference. You are all appreciated. I also wish to acknowledge other leaders and stakeholders present at this conference. Professor Adeshe Gulabinjo from USA, Honourable Nick Akpata from Canada, Honourable Banide from South Africa, Engineer Jimmy Jerry from Russia, Honourable Adeyemo from Benin Republic, Haji Lawal Usman from Togo, Dr. Uzigi from Russia, Honourable Lado Tuomole from Lesotho, Dr. Abiola Akintunde from Lesotho, Honourable Awu Fidipe, Honourable Odutalayo, all from the UK, Professor Adewale from Scotland, and many others too numerous to mention. Your support and assistance is very much appreciated, and we just can't thank you enough. Thank you so very much for your support, and of course to all our participants for your tireless support. Every week you come. Not only are you asking questions, sometimes you prefer solutions to what you see as a solution to some of the challenges that we have in our country. That is also appreciated. Thank you ever so much. And lastly, I wish to appreciate my co-hosts who do the backroom work to ensure a smooth conference every week. Honourable Jacob Ogushe, Haji Arekia Bello Abubakar, Udeme Ukwe, Sheun Bayewu, aka Boyo, and Tosi Olayinka. This wouldn't have been possible without you guys. Well done, everybody. In the next couple of days, I will be announcing the VVIP for our next for next week. So watch this space. We will be coming to you with another VVIP. But before I yield the floor to the matron of the house, let me assure everyone that has sent in their question today that all your questions is being collated, and we will put it in a bundle format that will be sent to the Honourable Minister. And I can assure you, if there's any need for him to respond to any of you personally, that will be done. And we will find a way to get it to you guys. If you haven't already done so before, please send us your email address through our email address at info. Let me have a look at that. info@renewedhopeconference.com. info@renewedhopeconference.com. Send your email address there so that when the feedback comes, we'll be able to get back to you. Once again, thank you ever so much. And again, let me go back to our Honourable Dr. Kayode Ajulo. Thank you so much, sir, for giving us the benefit to address us twice today. It is very much appreciated. Thank you so much. So before I draw the curtain, let me call on Haji Arekia Bello Abubakar to give us the closing remarks. Thank you very much.
Thank you, our Chief Host. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we draw the curtain on today's conference. Thank you to our special guest, the Minister of State for Defense, Dr. Bello Muhammed Matawalle, in absentia, who, due to some unforeseen circumstances, couldn't be with us today. But be rest assured, our participants, all questions, like our Chief Host said, and comments will be passed on to him. Thank you also to participants who joined us from locations all over the world. We hope you enjoyed our event as much as we enjoyed putting it together. Join us again next time for another exciting event. On behalf of our Renewed Hope Global Virtual Town Hall Conference team, have a great weekend. And I am yours truly, Haji Arekia Bello Abubakar. Thank you. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you so very much, sir. Thank you very much, ma'am. We appreciate it. Thank you so much, everybody, for always supporting us. Like I keep saying to you, we can't thank you enough because your support means a lot to us, and that's the reason we keep doing what we're doing every week. It's not easy, but as soon as we think of your support, it gives us that feeling to continue to go the extra mile to ensure that we bring all our VVIPs to you guys. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. Now we are drawing the curtains. It's exactly 6:28. So we've overshot our time by 28 minutes, and it shows how enjoyable it's been. Even though it's the VVIP couldn't make it, yet we were here for 2.5 hours. So that says a lot about your interest and your passion for Nigeria, and for that we will remain grateful, because for as long as we continue to show this passion for Nigeria, I believe the future is bright for our country. Thank you ever so much. And God bless. Thank you.
Inú mi dùn kí ṣe kó bóyá àwọn ológun ló ń darí wa lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí. Àgbọ̀nra wa yé. Ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan tí mo kàn ní pé yẹ kí n sọ tó ń dùn wá gan ni pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwa tá a jẹ́ aráàlú tá a sí ní ipò àwọn òṣèlú tó ga à ń jìyà gan.
I pledge to Nigeria, my country, being faithful and committed to the economic development and prosperity of every one of you.
To me,
Mr. President, is quite a transparent book, an open book that people can see. Whatever they see him do, that's what he does in private. But what he does more is that he studies more late into the night and reviewing things and going through files and trying to think about ways he can get things going on well for our people to deliver on the promises he has made to Nigerians.
We have to make sure this country stay on the right path to succeed on behalf of over 200 million Nigerians. We willingly accepted the appointment. I accepted the mandate of the people. On behalf of delegated some of these powers to you to serve the country.
Nigerians are very hopeful people, and my message would be to keep hope alive and to have faith in this government, to have faith in the president who has his eye on the ball. He knows where he's going. The road may be rough.
Nigerians, don't look back. Look forward. Be hopeful. Be assured that you have a country that cares about you, and you must care about the country.
I marvel at his genuineness and his desire, his depth of knowledge, and his capacity that shines through to how to develop this country, and his love for Nigeria.
We will turn it around. There's a very good bright light at the end of the tunnel of hope, stability, and successful economic prosperity. Education is the tool to fight against poverty effectively. We are determined to ensure education is given the proper attention necessary for the country, including skill development programs. This is to ensure that no one, no matter how poor their background is excluded from quality education and opportunity to are here because we are all educated.
Jagaban of Africa, Jagaban of the world. Congratulations from Barrister Kennedy. I don't know what to say. I know what you went through. I understand that perfectly well. But at the end of the day, God answered your prayers. Congratulations. A gem, a red gem like you. You are such a red gem that Nigerians are very happy and excited to have a son like you. May God bless you abundantly for your kindness towards the physically challenged, the less privileged, the youth, and Nigerians in general. Thank you so much for your kindness. Thank you so much for everything. And big congratulations to you, His Excellency, Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Shetima. Thank you.